Yeah. Hi. So if you go on.
I was just saying, hello, are you all right?
Yeah. So I was just going to do our introductions and saying, if you're new here, thank you for coming. I'm Ruby and my business is Dotty Delightful. I'm an artist and zine maker, and I really like to inspire people to connect to nature and themselves. And this is...
Thank you, Ruby, my business bestie. I'm Kula Shine. I'm an artist and spiritual intuitive, and I like to help people to see the light within themselves and without themselves too, and just to shine, basically. Yeah,
that's why you're Kula Shine,
right? Yeah, name and nature. Hopefully, that's the plan. Yeah,
I love it. So we've just been having a little quick conversation, a little catch up.
yes.
And then we were like, let's press record, because all this stuff is good stuff for everybody to.
Well, it might be.
It might be, yeah. It might be rubbish stuff. Might just be us.
No one else in the world thinks like this.
Yeah.
It's just us two nutters in our little. Yeah.
But basically, what we've been saying is, what we've come to the realization is, you're going to probably say this much better than me, Koo.
No, go on, you're doing it.
Actually, we've kind of set ourselves up for a fall, because even though for the past 4 weeks, this is week 5, and I want to give us a big shout out for actually doing 5 weeks in a row. That's like amazing. We've come to the realization that actually it's a lot. It is a lot, isn't it? Yeah. And as much as we love doing it and look for engaging with everybody out there and with each other and stuff, it's almost like we're forcing ourselves to go, right, we have to stick to this routine, we have to do it at this time, we have to do, and that is not us, is it? At all.
No. Well, what we recognised was that as in the last 2 weeks, well, this week it was really tricky to kind of pin down a time, wasn't it? So because of the nature of how you have to do videos, so we record it and then we have to spend some time editing it, obviously, and then, I mean, not a lot, but putting a back end on it and things like that, and just sharing the file between ourselves, etc. Putting the information you need to put on YouTube and then loading everything up, all that. But then there's also the social media promotion.
Oh, it's gone.
All falling apart. So there's all that kind of work into it, and because we were liking chatting with people in the premiere, so it was a lot of work. It wasn't just a press record, it's done, whatever. But the reason we started doing it was because we noticed that sometimes when we were having conversations, because we talk most days via WhatsApp chat, don't we, Rubes? We'd say some things and we're like, oh, it come out of nowhere, you know how these wonderful nuggets do. And we were like, I bet you someone else would really value hearing that could really help someone else in their life. So we decided, so maybe once a week we'll catch up on a Zoom call and share those nuggets. And then it turned into a whole capitalist this is how you do business thing. We fell into the trap completely.
Yeah.
And we're not denying that.
I think the dog wants to go out, Koo. The dog.
Oh. Do you want to go out? Thanks, Rubes.
It's all right.
I hope I haven't left my bedroom door open, because he'll be on that, on my bed. Where was I going?
Capitalist. We've fallen into that trap of it being like business. This is what you do.
Yeah, and both of our channels have grown in the last, since we've been doing it. We found that's really helpful. We found a bit more about YouTube, about titles and thumbnails and things like that, which has also, we think, helped. So there's no doubt that as a business model, this could grow our YouTube and we could reach more people and help more people. And we were recognizing that, particularly in the last 2 weeks, we've had to really push ourselves to do it, to commit to it, to fit it in with everything else. And then today, when we went to film, because we would have filmed it the day before so that it wasn't everything all on one day, the filming and all the editing and posting on, and the interaction on one day, because that's a little bit too much for me. But
I had
it
stuff
just worked
booked
out
in,
we
didn't I?
couldn't.
I already had
Yeah.
stuff booked in from a couple of months ago that I didn't.
Yeah, it just worked out we couldn't. So it was, you know, we had to do it today, which felt like a lot. And then we were like, hang on, we are both people that really don't like to commit to things. We've both run monthly clubs before and found really, we were so excited about both of them, weren't we, Robes? And we both went, oh my God, I've got to do that again this month. I mean, we did do the whole year each, didn't we?
Yeah,
which was
we
really
did.
brilliant, but it's not in our nature, and pushing against our nature is just more of the playing the capitalist game. And we didn't even, it didn't dawn on us, did it? We didn't click, because that our motivation wasn't those things. It was to share nuggets of wisdom. And then it turned into oh, this makes sense. This makes good business sense, as well as sharing community. So let's carry on for that, rather than really tapping into what was serving us and supporting us in our day-to-day. So we've kind of decided, haven't we, that we're not going to do weeklies for now. And it's one of the reasons why we haven't set up our spaces today, because we said, no, let's just jump on and explain, because there was a few people, regulars, that came and chatted with us every Thursday or Saturday whenever we were doing it. And we had a really glorious time in the chat. It was really wonderful. It was so wonderful to make the connections. And we might do it again another time when we feel inspired, won't we, Ruby? We're going to try and, you know, we're not going to like just abandon this, because we think it's a really lovely thing, and we know that people appreciated witnessing our friendship, but joining in the friendship. Yeah, so we're not, it's not like we're not, right, that's it, we're not going to do it again, but we're certainly not going to pressure ourselves and play that game. And we don't want anybody to think that we did anything that we've already done under duress. We didn't, we really but this week we were like, hang on, what is this resistance? And we need to look at it and really pay attention, because story time. Are you all right for me to carry on?
Oh, hang on, let me get cozy. Yes.
We were just pondering, because I was just saying, I've been up for a couple of hours. I've done my orders. It was only 3 little sticker sheets, you know, it wasn't a lot to do. And then I've come and done this. And I know that when this is finished, I'll be going back to bed because I'm really tired. And it's frustrating to me because I want to paint, because I've been painting. I'm really having a really lovely time.
I love that.
Thank you. Well, there's 3 of them. There's 3 in a set.
Oh my God, Cooler, look at the colours.
The colours are amazing, aren't they? So I tend to paint in 3s, as you know. So there's always 3 kind of, because that's how I like doing everything in 3s. You know what I'm like. Anyway, so it's frustrating to me because I wanted to get back to painting this afternoon, but I know I'm going to have to go and rest. And then I was considering, or we were talking about just before, weren't we? Just before we pressed record, because we were like, shall we just record this? Because we were right in a convo, weren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe the CFS has come about because over the last 10 years, my body kept telling me to rest, but I kept beating the drum of, no, but I need to work. And it's not, I'm not at all a workaholic person. That's not where I am. I wouldn't ever put work above other things, as it, you know, but creating or running my little shop, that's my work. It's not like when I think of a workaholic, I think of somebody who works in an office 9 to 5 and is
in a suit,
late and misses family occasions and those sorts of things. I don't put my work above those things, but there was still absolutely times, even last year, when my body was like, please stop. And I was pushing and pushing and pushing because of finances, really.
Yeah.
Even though I really needed to rest. And maybe I wouldn't have got to this point where I'm up for 2 hours and I have to go back to bed in a minute if I'd have stopped sooner.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if that's a common occurrence for other people, because so many of us, sorry, I'm really on one, aren't I, Robes?
All right, carry on.
So many of us, especially neurodiverse people, who find the world really challenging, and like the living, and this is going to sound really dramatic and like a bit of a drama queenie type thing, but that's internalized ableism speaking. It's it's traumatic to be alive if you're neurodiverse, because there's so many sensory things hitting you all the time. Never mind the fact that every single conversation is so much work. Every interaction is really hard. And let's not even start with the food we eat nowadays, with all of the woo-woo electronics going through the air, smart meters, and even, you know, phone signals. 20 years ago, we didn't have all these phone signals going through the air. We didn't have digital TV. We didn't have computers in every home. We didn't have all this electronic stuff in the air. It's no wonder the body that I was born into, that wasn't made for this, is going, what the noggin?
Yeah, what's
Shutting
happening?
down. It's the adjusting. You
Yeah,
know, so you add all those things up. It's no wonder something like this happens, where the body just goes, nah, mate, I'm out.
yeah, I've had enough.
I've had enough. We're on strike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's totally, isn't it? And there's loads of layers to that, ain't there? There's like the stuff in the water, all the hormones in the water. Do you
Yeah.
know, like just everything, all the crap that comes out of the sky when it rains, like the whole lot of it. And years ago, none of this. There'd have been none of this. I remember. Oh, I'm going on one. Are you ready? Story time.
I'm ready for your story time.
I remember being a child and playing out in the garden, because that's where I spent most of my time. And in summer, the sky was blue. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, that's where most of us who are like 45 and under, that is where we spent our time.
Yeah, outside.
Outside.
The sky was always blue, beautiful blue all summer. Now, if you see a blue sky, I'm like, oh my God, a blue sky, it's amazing. But throughout the day, you'll notice it all goes grey and white and crap. For having a foot, we're in England, by the way, if anybody's watching from a different country. So it's probably, you know, it could be different where you are. But I remember whole summer holidays of just blue sky. Now, that's one thing out of all the things that is. It does sound dramatic. It's attacking us, but it is every day. You know, like coming onto us, into us, through us, and yeah, not to mention things like you can hear the electric going. You know, like it's just simple things that other people would take for granted, that did, or not even aware of it.
I don't even think of it.
No, to me, we've got a dripping tap in the kitchen at the minute. Oh my God, it's been driving me mental.
I don't know how you're doing it.
It is driving. Tom's tried to fix it a couple of times, but we think it's somewhere in the mechanism. It's not just a washer. It's right inside. I think he's going to do it this weekend, because it is driving me doolally. The noise of that, and the noise of the fridge in there.
The fridge. Don't even start with the fridge.
Oh God! Or when you're cooking, do you have a fan above your cooker?
Casey won't have it on because of the noise. She can't tolerate it.
Right, it's like an aeroplane.
Yes.
Oh my good Lord. So it's stupid things like that that's constantly driving your body.
Don't even start with needle hair.
I know. You just said, didn't you?
Needle hair
looks nice. I said, oh yeah, it's really irritating my neck. I keep having to do that with it. These are like, there's hundreds of them in the queue. If we sat here going on about them, there's hundreds of them. So forget all of that on top of everything else, and then yeah, your body's like, get to bed, lady. Do you know what I mean? It's
no wonder, isn't it?
No.
And isn't it fascinating thinking about another level of that? It's even something that they can't medically give you a tablet for or cure it right now, because if they could, I'd take it or do it and carry on.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, really fascinating.
So
yeah, it's crackers. So to add the pressure, because this is what it felt like today a little bit, didn't it? To add the pressure on.
Fitting it in.
Oh, we've got to fit it in with everything.
The week came round so quick.
Super fast. Really fast. Because we do it, don't we? And then it's like, oh, we've got another week now. But before you know it, it's like back again. Yeah, so I think what's happened is, and this happens a lot, especially to me, because I'm always saying, I'm going to do this thing. our intention was just to have a chat with other people, to get them involved in what we're talking about, to give our wisdoms and stuff like that. And then somehow, without us knowing, it shifted into this is business. We must do this thing. And it's like, hang on, no.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're gonna let ourselves off that hook. We're gonna be kinder to ourselves, and yeah, I mean, and hopefully we'll do this. We'll just, when we fancy it, and the only concern I have a little bit is it did take us a year to start, because we said we'd do it when we fancy it, and it never happened. And the fact that then we said, no, we are going to do it every week, then that, you know, we made us do it. But
Yeah.
you know, that again, that doesn't work with who we are as people. But yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned that we won't get around to it so much, but because I do think we've got valuable things to say, and I think it's really nice for people to see people with really different ideas still finding common ground and celebrating life. Do you know that kind of thing?
Definitely. I can almost think, though, because we're letting ourselves off the hook of this is going to have to be at this time every week, we might then, because we've been released from that, go, come on, let's do a video today. We've got some stuff to say.
Yeah.
You know, so it could be that. But I think this is a really important lesson for people watching. This is our boundary setting. We're setting boundaries, aren't we, for self-care. And because I often say to you, don't I, Koo, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed. I've got so much to do. I'm so overwhelmed. And you've got your CFS, you know, that's forcing you to rest. It's not that you'd go, oh, actually, I'm choosing to go back to bed now. No, you'd be choosing to paint, wouldn't you, today? You know?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a joy. I'd prioritize admin, which would be ridiculous, like I did yesterday. Yesterday I was so excited because I'd left the day empty because I thought we were recording, because it just got a little bit mixed up, didn't it? And then I was like, oh, I can have an art day, this is amazing. And then I was like, no, you should really list those earrings, you know, because I made those gorgeous earrings. I haven't even listed them yet. I'm just going to give people a little heads up about Zoom Teams. Not Zoom Teams, Canva Teams. Shall I quickly riff?
Oh my God, yeah, do, because I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I had Canva, and then I was doing some work for a local art group here, just doing their social media as like a favor. And so I had them in Canva Teams, and I hadn't realized I was signed into my Canva team. I thought it was just my personal account, and the Canva Teams was an add-on. I've stopped doing that now because I've had to let go of all extracurricular blah 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 blah. And so this week I deleted the team. I hadn't realized that I was actually logged into my team, and I've made all of my everythings for the last year, the whole year's worth of Canva projects. I couldn't believe it. Did I, Ruby? I was like, what? So you just got to be careful. If you have Canva Teams, make sure you're logged into your personal one when you're making your own personal things. Otherwise, you won't get any of the stuff. I have managed to sort it. It's okay. But there was
have you got it back?
Yeah, because it gives you a 2-week window. Apparently, if you contact them and then they say, restore it, and then I've managed just to save a couple of dozen, you know, of my files, just because, you know, to start all over from scratch is quite a, you know, but all of my uploads and everything, hundreds of them, they're all gone. And, you know, it's just one of the things. But anyway, why did I get onto that, Rubes?
Oh, yesterday you'd have chose to have a paint day, but you ended up doing admin.
Because I was like, so I was sorting that out, sorting the Canva things out, and I was also I did list one pair of earrings. That's all I got done. And then I was too tired to actually paint, which was really frustrating to me. And we do have this issue, don't we, Ruby? We often say, right, we're going to be we want to be painters, or we want to be artists, and then that seems to be the last thing on the list that we allow ourselves to do. Allow.
I know. And that's it. It's almost like, because for me, painting is like, and I'm sure this is for you, it's like birthing something. Like it's a physical need inside of going, I need to paint. It's not just a mental thing, it's a physical. And it's like I do everything else so I could clean the bathroom before I allow myself the reward of painting, because I deserve that feeling that I get from painting, which is amazing. I
Yeah.
only deserve that if I've done all the other stuff.
It's a
Not
reward
alone.
because,
Yeah,
yeah, because capitalism has taught us that we have to earn joy.
yeah,
But actually, joy is our birthright. We are joy, you know, and we are creators. We've come here to create. And that reminded me of something else as well that I've really been keenly aware of this week, because this is going to be completely TMI. So if you're a little bit, don't turn the volume off right now. I'll tell you. But I had toothache last week, didn't I? And I was poorly, and then I had cystitis. It was really bad. I've never had it so bad. So I was really feeling flipping rubbish and really low and fed up and everything and whatever. And even in the midst of that, I was like, I'm here for this, because I mean, it's such an interesting thing, because part of me just went, liar. No, you weren't. You were like, you know, all the F's under the sun. But it was like, we've come here to experience all of it. If we only came to experience the joy, we'd stayed where we were. There was no purpose to come in. It depends on your spiritual beliefs, but there's no purpose in embodying and manifesting here in a world of duality. If we didn't want to experience duality, there's no point to that. So we've come to experience all of the things. So there's no need for that. Everything's allowed, that there's no right or wrong, there's no better or worse, and there's no need to kind of try and make something that seems bad feel better. Like that kind of toxic positivity that's rife in the spiritual community. It's so bad, because we need to feel all the feelings, we need to feel all of the things in order for us to grow spiritually, etc.
definitely.
Yeah, but that ties in. I can't remember what the link is now, because I went right into the inner story about pain and all of those things, and I was aware of my tooth, because even though I had antibiotics, it's not cleared up. But anyway.
Was it that you were still going to try and show up and do your business even though you had toothache and cystitis?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though my body was...
Sorry, go on.
No, you're right. Go on.
I was just going to say, where if you'd have been going to work outside for the man, and you was that poorly with your tooth, because you were really bad with it, weren't you? You'd have taken the day off and gone home and rested. But because you're self-employed and work from home and stuff, it's like, I have to push through this.
Yeah.
Crazy. Do you know what else is crazy, Koo? Last night, I went for a wee, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting cystitis. Yeah, I was like, I am not having this. I'm tapping into Kula's cystitis. I do not have cystitis. I went in the shower, and as you know, you can't wash cystitis away. But I was in the shower and I was shattered. This is too much information. Showering, and I was going, the shower's washing the cystitis away. I don't have cystitis. When I wake up in the morning, I won't have it. And I woke up today, nothing.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was tuning into your...
Oh, we do it all the time.
Yeah, we do.
I do it with Em as well. Em's my child, and or I don't think we're doing we're not going to do the premiere on this one, are we?
No.
So but was Forrest in the chat last time or whatever, but actually had a test at the doctor's, and there was stuff showing up in the pee sample, but it's clear, but it was literally on the back of tuning in.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, when we're empaths, we do tune into things, and again, it's about boundary setting, isn't it? About making sure that you're, a great friend of mine, and I have mentioned Grace before because she's given me some top tips in my life, but she was also, I messaged her one day and I said, I really can feel death. I can really feel death. And I was worried because it was such a strong feeling. And she said, is it yours? Is it yours? And I hadn't even crossed my mind to ask that. And that's like a boundary question, isn't it? I hadn't even thought of it. Anyway, within moments of her saying that to me and me going, oh, actually, no, I don't think it is. ambulance pulls up, the house opposite, the man gets taken away, he's died.
Yeah.
Just like that. But I was really aware of it, obviously. But that clarity around boundaries, about what is our feeling, what we're taking on, all of those things we can do with getting better and better and better at that. And I think we will. And of course, the higher the more we progress spiritually, it's almost like we expand. I'm making this up, but this is how it feels in this moment. We expand as beings. And when we're expanding, we're touching more edges. And sometimes those edges aren't ours.
Yeah.
But we're not. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So
definitely. That happened to me with a next door neighbour.
Oh yeah.
Not here, this was years ago. And I said to Tom, oh, I can smell flowers, really strong flowers. This is funeral flowers I can smell. Someone's dying. And he was like, who's dying? I was like, I don't know who it is, but it's somebody close. And I thought it was somebody in our family. And it turned out that evening, when I was feeling all these feelings, we found out that the man next door had died.
Same sort of thing then.
Same, yeah, totally. And it is, I think our energy, I think if we could see our energy and our essence, we'd see how it, in my head, it's like smoke. It feels like, not smoke like from a pipe, like a magical glittery smoke kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we can, if we go near somebody, ours mingles with theirs.
Yeah.
And that's why when you meet somebody and you automatically get that feeling in your tummy, this is not a very nice person. Do you know what I mean?
Or this is a wonderful person.
Or this is a wonderful person. Yeah. It's like your energy has felt that into that person, and you felt their energy, and then you like pull back or allow, or you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think most people, if they really listen, they could tune into auras easily. Yeah, auric fields, absolutely. You've only got to be standing next to somebody in a supermarket queue, and if you really listened, you'd know. Even the people that say, "Oh, I can't do anything like that. I don't feel those things." I think most people would, but we don't want people to go running around opening themselves up in supermarket queues.
No.
Just to check it out. You have to set a boundary. And back to the beginning, as in we're recognizing that there's an unseen energetic field. And I was thinking about, when you use your bibber to unlock your car, and you can do it from, I don't know, 20 feet away. That signal is traveling through your field.
Yeah.
Right? If that can do a car from 20 meters, if the internet, which is downstairs in my other, blah, 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 can reach my computer here, that's traveling through my body. And then we're wondering why we're all getting all this, and I think that, I'm of the belief that everything is happening exactly as it should. Everything's unfolding as it should. There's a greater plan that we don't know about. And I trust that all is well all the time, even despite what it looks like, all is well, all is unfolding as it should, or whatever. There's a bigger picture. There's a bigger plan that we just can't even tap into. So there's no need to get kind of headless chicken and worried about it, and set your boundaries.
Yeah, definitely set your boundaries.
Balance, isn't it?
Massive. Yeah. I read so I've started rereading this today by Lisa Lister. It's what I sent you the picture out of last night. What she's in. And today I've been writing down some of the things that spoke to me, and I just want to read this out because it's really interesting. When we was talking before about allowing ourselves to paint, rather than choosing it. So she's put, another move in the patriarchal playbook make women think that self-interest and self-care are indulgent, selfish, and even narcissistic, so that we continue to give, never taking time to rest, recalibrate, and fully receive, so that we ultimately break down or burn out and find ourselves hating our bodies. And I was like, so true.
It's completely true. This is how we've been trained. Between capitalism and patriarchy. And look at us, we're the blessed ones, as in we don't know what it's like to be at the hands of racism. You imagine people that have to deal with that on top. we're blooming lucky we haven't had
we
to have
are.
that experience too.
Yeah.
Because how do you anyway, we could really go.
That's another
Get in
story.
I know, and we didn't want to make this too long, but maybe we could talk about it next time. But yeah, absolutely. And well, as an example of that, yesterday, my sister-in-law, who I don't see very often, Tracy's sister and her family were in our town. And I would normally go and see them, but I knew, because I woke up feeling like I had a little pocket of energy yesterday, which is I ended up using on admin instead of using on painting. But I had this little pocket of energy, and I would normally have gone and used it seeing them, because I know she would really like that. My sister-in-law would really like that. And it sounds really big-headed. I don't mean to be, but she just does. She always really appreciates it, because I don't see her that often. And thankfully, TJ talked with me for a bit, and she, and I got to the point where I was like, for the first time, probably, actually, I'm going to prioritize not the first time, but I can count on one hand the amount of times I've done it in my life, my own well-being. I'm prioritizing that and using that little pocket of energy I do have for myself. And that's not to say I'm not a selfish person, or those sorts of things, or I'm really like, saintly. That's not what I'm saying. But just as a woman, like you just read out from that book, is I've been trained not to do that.
Yeah.
I've been trained that it's selfish to put my needs first, And it is a little bit frightening, because there are some people women I've seen out there doing that, who are narcissistic, and I don't like them very much. So I certainly don't want to go down that path. But there's a balance, isn't there? That we need to find. Absolutely. And
I think that's what's the word? That's not self-love and self-care, is it? It's like do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's the other part of it. I can't think of the word of it. Like it's too far at the detriment to everyone and everything. They're number one, and that's what's most important, to the detriment of everything else.
yes.
But ordinarily, and also, this could be controversial, but I do feel people that are like that actually are really lacking in lots of ways. Probably they don't actually really love themselves, and it's a wall that they've built up.
Absolutely, it's a survival tactic.
Yeah.
They've learned to survive that way. But what's really crushing is that the world, the way it's made up because of capitalism, patriarchy, is that it rewards narcissistic behavior.
Yeah.
So all the people in power, the government people, the even like pop stars or movie stars, but not all of them. I'm not tying them all with the same brush, but the people that tend to make it in those industries are, not just the industries, those businesses, are narcissists, or have an ego that is flavored with a narcissist bent, because that's what it rewards. It rewards that kind of behavior.
Yeah, definitely. Leonie Dawson always says, and I think this is amazing, she always says, have the confidence of an old white businessman, because an old white buissman thinks he is the center of his world. Do you know what I mean?
The world.
And the world, and it wouldn't even enter his head about any of this stuff that we think about as women. Not at all. It's crackers.
Yeah.
It's really crackers. It's bizarre. Really. Can I show you my painting anyway?
Let's have a look at the painting.
Let me just make sure I don't roll over the dog.
Oh, it's so vibrant. Can you? Yeah.
Oh, sorry for the wonky camera. Right, hang on. How do I make it straight? Oh my god, my camera skills, Coo.
It's cool. Yeah, you can see it, Robes. It's lovely. It's looking from on my screen. It's not looking as pink. It's got a bit more of an orangey hue to it, but it's actually bright pink, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think if I put
it's a different light.
Because it's a dull day today. It's rainy today. Oh.
Yeah.
If I put my daylight light on it, it don't really work, does it?
It's coming out really beautiful. Are you pleased?
Really pleased. But that is like really bright pink.
Yeah. There's that gorgeous pink you showed us a couple of weeks ago, isn't it?
Yeah, that like fluorescent pink.
So do the flowers like mean anything? Do they have any significance, or the shapes or things, or is it just, you know, that you're just going with the flow and it's not?
Well, so originally I'd done the background and these flowers originally, and then I've been drinking that mushroom rainbow dust, it's called. These mushrooms to help my brain and stuff like that. Anyway, so while I was drinking it, I was thinking, whenever I drink anything, oh God, get cozy, cooler, get cozy.
This is meant to be a quick one. What we like.
Story time, story time. So, so whenever I have something like that that's from nature, I always think it deserves the respect of not just chugging it, basically. So I was like, right, I'm going to make this an occasion. So I sat down, I had my cup, I was like this with it, and I was like smelling it, and I was like tasting it. I was thinking,
Well, we're supposed to do that with all food and drink.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
That's why we say grace.
Exactly, yeah. And I'd put on a mushroom meditation on YouTube. Now, the idea was that in a morning, normally, I listen to a prayer and I listen to a meditation before I start my day. But because of drinking the mushrooms, I couldn't get into meditation at all. Like, it was like my head was too open to, like, it was like, come on, do this, use this energy. And I was sat there going, you need to meditate. You need to meditate. Anyway, so I listened to this mushroom meditation, and in it, she takes you on a journey to the mushrooms. And I was imagining, as I'm drinking the mushrooms, that, you know, under the ground there's all the mycelium network.
Yeah.
And I was imagining that was in my body, and it was healing all my cells in my body, and it was in my brain, and it was healing all my bonkersness in my brain. Not all of it, some of it, my bonkersness in my brain. And it was like proper healing. And then I had this vision of Tree Woman, and I was like, right, I didn't do anything. I didn't do orders. I didn't do anything else. I was just like, I need to paint. Normally I override that feeling of going, oh, but you should be doing da da da. I was like, no, F that. I'm painting. So I put some music on and I just started painting it. So I'm going to change some of these flowers. And under here, I'm going to make more of a network coming out, and then that's all going to have mushrooms in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a crystal here which links to in my head, it links to like the heart of the earth. Like there's a crystal in the middle of the earth that's pulsating out love. So that's what that is. And I'm going to make her blend more into the tree, so she's more part of the tree.
Yes. Or the tree's more part of her, etc.
Yeah, so we're like so it's all interconnected. And then I'm going to change these somehow, and I don't know. And then the only thing that I am sure of, at the end, I'm going to add some gold leaf. I do love a bit of gold leaf.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting, because I have struggled, as you know, with, this is for an exhibition in August, and the theme is Wise Woman. And I have really struggled to get going with it, because in my head, I was thinking it had to be like portraits of wise women, and I'm rubbish at portraits. Like, I'm not good at them at all. So it blocked me. And you said, didn't you, just do it in your own style, your own thing and stuff. So now I'm excited that I've got going.
The essence. I'm interested to hear, and aware again of the time, but I'm also interested to hear how you overwrote, because at the beginning of the conversation we said we don't allow ourselves to paint, and then to do that, because you had the mushrooms, whatever, and you had the buzz in, and we're not over condoning anybody taking any.
Oh yeah, they're not magic mushrooms.
No, it's just a drink.
It's a medicinal drink full of mushrooms. Yeah, not magic ones.
Not magic ones. But it enabled you to override the logical brain.
Yeah.
Because we are creators, we've come here to create, but it allowed that creative voice to be the loudest voice. I'm interested to know what that was, why that happened.
So it was like a compulsion.
Yeah.
I've got, so normally in my head all the time there's a constant chatter of different levels of voices. So there's a constant chatter of things about myself personally. That can be nice, that can be horrible, depending on what it is. There's a constant chatter of what I've got to do in the day. There's a constant remembering of I should
All
be
the
doing
things.
that, all the things. It's just constant, and there's a song always playing on repeat somewhere
Yeah.
in there as well.
Yeah.
And then whenever I look at something, I get distracted, so that then comes into my brain. So what I found is when I have the mushrooms.
Can I just say, and your GP has said no, you're not going to
Oh
be put
yeah,
forward for referral for
yeah.
ADHD.
GP refused my referral.
What? Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So when I've drunk the mushrooms, I've only been drinking them since Friday. But when I've drank them, it's like my head. It's not empty of that stuff. It's almost like whatever I'm focused on. So at that time it was the painting. The painting is the loudest thing, and all that other stuff disappears. You know, like when you're in the zone and you are painting, and
Yeah.
everything else disappears
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when I've drank the mushrooms, and
And
it's
it
the
enables you
weirdest
to
thing.
get, yeah.
Yeah. So like if I'm doing computer work, I'm only doing computer work. It's like a tunnel vision. All that stuff's still there on the periphery, but it's like I have tunnel vision of that's what I'm doing. And then I go, right, and now it's time for me to do my orders. And then I move over and I do my orders. It's a I mean, I'm a bit blown away by it. I'm a bit like, what is going on?
We're going to get you on
Um,
commission in a minute, Butts. You keep right.
if anybody wants, I've got a £10 off voucher. But what I have said is normally, by 2:30 in the day, normally I need a nap on a normal day. I'm normally done by then for a couple of hours, and then I pick up again a bit later on. When I have the mushrooms, that doesn't happen. It just follows me all the way through till about 10:30. I'm like on it. But because my body's not used to this, it's aching like mad because I'm moving about, I'm doing stuff. I walked from town the other day, it's all uphill, and when I was doing it, I'm thinking, what am I doing? I never do this. But by the time I got home, I was like, oh, my legs hurt. So then on Saturday, I didn't have any, and I just slept for 6 hours completely through the afternoon. So I think what I need is today I've only had a little bit. I've only just had a bit.
I was going to say, yeah, you're learning about the doses, aren't you?
That was lucky. The postman came, but he didn't bark. Yeah, I'm learning about the doses because the dose on the packet, that's like wired me for the whole day. And I think I need to be gentle. So today I've had just a quarter of the thing where I'm still alert and I can still focus on stuff. But if I need to sleep in a bit, I'm going to have a sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's treating your mind. This is what ADHD meds do, isn't it? But it treats your mind, but then you've still got a body.
Yeah.
That you're running, and that needs
a
different type of care potentially. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about the whole thing.
The whole thing. And I think it'll be interesting to see longer term because it's less than a week. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. But I am really pleased that I can get stuff actually done and finished in the same time that I'm doing it, Tom's tried it and he's not ADHD, and he said the same. It's like his brain wants to keep going, but his body's really tired.
The tired but wired thing.
Yeah, tired but wired. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Why did I start telling you? Oh, about my painting. Yeah. So that's why it was like I had tunnel vision.
But it was still a choice. It was still that you were able within your being to go, this is more important than my orders, than my admin, than my emails, than my AI work, whatever. It's more important than all of those things. What made creativity. It's interesting that when your brain is working properly, for example, I know like you chose painting.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It was like it was a compulsion that I had to do that. I had to get it out of me, my vision. I had to go and do that right now, before anything else. But it's almost like I have to move. I have to channel that extra brain power into physically doing something.
Yeah.
Because on Sunday I went to my friend's blessing way. She's pregnant, and I went to her blessing way, and I drank the mushrooms on the train going. And I was on the train. I was like, I really want to dance, I really want to dance. And then we got there, and the first hour was a dance, so I thought it was going to be all right. But because it was a blessing way, the lady that was doing it played all like really relaxing, and everybody's like this, all relaxing. And in my head, I'm like, I wanted I wanted like rave music.
Wamba wamba.
So I was moving like this, and I'm thinking, I need to move.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna, if I'm doing anything like that, I'm not having them.
No, that doesn't make sense. So
it's funny. So so I'm excited I'm gonna gift myself tomorrow to get back to my painting. I'm gonna do work today. But you can feel it, can't you? Going, paint me.
Yeah.
What are you doing, love, with your paintings? The beautiful ones that you've just done, are they finished now?
I just got to do the edges. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do. I think round the edges, I'm just gonna do like a dark grey. TJ paints all of her edges the same as the painting.
I do.
Like the edges are paintings themselves, you know. But I'm just going to do mine just a flat dark grey. I've been looking up how to make frames myself. I mean, these are fine because they're deep edge. I don't think they need framing, but some of the narrower edged canvases, which are a lot cheaper, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do need framing, and I'm looking up about how to, because I'm not very good at joints or angles. Very bad at that, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. But
have you got a mitre saw?
I've had them over time, but I'm not. I won't be going down the mitre saw route.
Right, okay.
I'm not down the angle route, so they're going to be butt joints like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'll be
straight edges.
A butt joint.
What you like. Let's finish up on a butt joke.
Right then,
anyway.
So we'll see you when we see you.
When we see you. I know there's probably loads more we could talk about, but I should think we've been an hour. We didn't mean to. We're meant to be like 20 minutes, didn't we? Just to explain why we've not shown up with all of our makings. Because as well, we know people appreciated that, and we really did like sharing that. And that might be something we do in the future.
Yeah.
We might go, right, yeah, we're going to do this. And we're absolutely open for, you know what I meant to do, Ruby, in between this, to say, ask people to leave comments about things, or what do you think of that? Or what do you think of that? You know, it's because we've talked about quite a lot of things, and I'd like to know what people think about what we've spoke about, but I forgot to ask as we were going through. But yeah, like last time we did about, you know, starting a small business, whatever. If you've got anything like that you want us to talk about anything that we've spoken about, isn't it? So that we've got a focus to come on and talk about them, we're absolutely up for that. Or any of the things, isn't it, Robes?
Yeah, definitely.
We're really up for it. So
because we can delve a lot deeper, can't we, into stuff than what we have. So about
absolutely.
Anything. So that's good, isn't it? So we'll see you again. What's that song? Was it by Vera Lynn?
We'll meet again.
Don't know where. Don't know where. Well, it'll be on YouTube, so we do know whatever.
Yeah, and I did a jingle, but
you did.
We made a jingle. We've got to find it. It's somewhere in our chat, but it was quite good, wasn't it, Rose?
It was really good, yeah.
But we'll have to dig it out for next time. We'll have to do it so we can get on the jingle. But anyway, leave comments, leave chats, please like and subscribe, and we appreciate you for sharing and joining this sharing. share. Anyway, thanks for coming.